That dollar store serum with 2% salicylic acid, it performs identically to the $48 version at Sephora. I've got the pH strips and ingredient lists to prove it. I'm Julian Thorne, and I spend my time hunting down ethical, non-toxic beauty products that deliver luxury experiences without the premium price tag or environmental cost. You're listening to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick heads up before we dive in. Everything you're about to hear, the research, the data, the script, all of it is written and verified by real people, real authors. But the voice you're hearing, that's AI generated. Just want to be upfront about that. If you've been listening for a while, thank you, genuinely. It matters that you keep showing up. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. We release new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you've got a pretty steady stream of stuff to explore. Now, here's what we've got for you today. You're about to see direct comparisons of active concentrations, price per ounce calculations, manufacturing origins, and texture analyses that treat budget beauty with the same analytical rigor typically reserved for luxury launches. No apologies, no qualifiers, just the chemistry. Let me start with a quick overview. Dollar Tree niacinamide serums deliver 5% concentration at $1.25 per ounce, manufactured in FDA-registered facilities. Sephora versions range from 5 to 10% concentration, running $18 to $42 per ounce with clinical packaging. For hyaluronic acid, Dollar Tree uses sodium hyaluronate at 1,000 kilodaltons for $1.25 per ounce, though the texture isn't what you'd call cosmetically elegant. Sephora formulas blend multiple molecular weights from 50 to 1,800 kilodaltons at $32 to $68 per ounce with that silk glide application. Retinol products at Dollar Tree contain 0.1 to 0.25% retinol in mineral oil bases, about $2.50 per ounce. Sephora retinols range from 0.25 to 1% in encapsulated delivery systems, running $45 to $85 per ounce. Vitamin C formulas at Dollar Tree claim 10% L-ascorbic acid, but come in unstable packaging for $1.25 per ounce. Sephora versions use L-ascorbic acid or stable derivatives at 10 to 20% in airless pumps, priced from $38 all the way to $166 per ounce. Now, let's talk about niacinamide serums and the 5% standard. The translucent bottle feels plasticky in your hand. No weight, no gravitas. But the Dollar Tree niacinamide serum delivers 5% niacinamide, the clinically validated concentration demonstrated in peer-reviewed dermatological research to reduce hyperpigmentation and strengthen barrier function. Check the link below to see the current price. You'll notice the watery texture immediately, almost too thin, spreading across skin with zero slip. It absorbs within 15 seconds and leaves no residue. The formula lacks the elegant viscosity modifiers that give prestige serums their luxurious glide, but it doesn't need them. Niacinamide works at the cellular level, whether it arrives in silk or drugstore simplicity. Compare this to the ordinary niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%, typically around $6 for 1 ounce at Sephora, or Paula's Choice 10% niacinamide booster at around $45 for 0.67 ounces. The concentration ceiling for niacinamide effectiveness sits around 5%. Higher percentages don't penetrate proportionally deeper or deliver exponentially better results. They simply create marketing differentiation. Price per ounce reality. Dollar Tree's formulation costs $1.25 per ounce. Sephora's mid-range options start around $18 per ounce for identical active concentrations.
The caveat? Stability and preservation. Dollar Tree cosmetics occasionally suffer from inconsistent batch quality. I've encountered separation in niacinamide serums that suggest inadequate emulsification or temperature fluctuations during transport. Prestige brands invest in rigorous stability testing across temperature ranges and extended shelf life validation. You're paying for supply chain control as much as formulation expertise. But if you're willing to perform a quick shake test before purchase and use the product within 6 months, the molecular performance remains equivalent. Moving on to hyaluronic acid, where molecular weight matters more than price. Hyaluronic acid exists in a spectrum of molecular weights, each penetrating to different dermal depths. Low molecular weight HA, 50 to 300 kilodaltons, reaches deeper layers. High molecular weight HA, 1,000 to 1,800 kilodaltons, sits on the surface, creating that plumping effect you feel immediately after application. Dollar Tree's hyaluronic serums typically features sodium hyaluronate around 1,000 kilodaltons. That's a single molecular weight that delivers surface hydration without layered penetration. The texture feels sticky during application, tacky for several minutes before settling into skin. This isn't elegant. You wouldn't want to apply makeup over it immediately. But that surface-level hydration creates measurable improvement in transepidermal water loss within 30 minutes. Sephora's The Inky List hyaluronic acid, around $10 for 1 ounce, or Vichy Mineral 89, around $32 for 1.69 ounces, contain multi-weight hyaluronic acid blends. 50 kilodaltons, 300 kilodaltons, and 1,800 kilodaltons working in concert to hydrate across dermal layers. The application experience transforms entirely. Silky glide, instant absorption, no tackiness. The formulation chemistry includes sophisticated humectants and texture modifiers that make the experience feel clinical yet luxurious. Performance versus experience. Dollar Tree delivers surface hydration effectively at $1.25 per ounce. Sephora delivers layered hydration in a cosmetically elegant vehicle starting around $6 to $19 per ounce. For those following Korean skincare routines that emphasize hydration layering, the multi-weight formulations justify their cost. For straightforward moisture supplementation, the budget option performs adequately. The molecular weight limitation means you'll need to layer it with other humectants, glycerin, panthenol, to approximate the depth of prestige formulas, but the chemistry itself remains sound. Let's discuss retinol, where concentration meets delivery system. Retinol oxidizes on contact with air and light. This fundamental instability defines the entire category.
Dollar Tree's retinol products, when you find them, contain 0.1 to 0.25% retinol suspended in mineral oil bases. The packaging invariably features clear or translucent plastic that accelerates degradation. You'll notice the formulation feels greasy, almost Vaseline-like in texture, without the sophisticated anhydrous bases or encapsulation technologies that protect retinol molecules from premature breakdown. Within 3 months of opening, efficacy declines measurably as the active oxidizes into inactive retinol breakdown products. The concentration sits at the entry level for clinical effectiveness, suitable for retinol-naive skin but insufficient for those seeking intensive cell turnover acceleration. Sephora's retinol offerings span a concentration range from 0.25 to 1% retinol, formulated with encapsulation delivery. That's time-release spheres that minimize irritation, airless pump packaging that eliminates oxygen exposure, and stabilizing antioxidants like vitamin E and ferulic acid. Paula's Choice Clinical 1% Retinol Treatment exemplifies this approach. Check the link below to see the current price. It's 1% retinol in an anhydrous base with peptides and antioxidants, packaged in an opaque tube with minimal air exposure. The texture feels lightweight, almost dry touch, absorbing without greasiness. Price reality. Dollar Tree retinol costs around $2.50 per ounce of product, but you're getting perhaps 25 cents worth of stable, active retinol. Sephora retinols cost $45 to $85 per ounce, but you're receiving $15 to $30 worth of encapsulated stabilized active that remains potent for 12 months. The formulation gap here exceeds mere packaging aesthetics. Retinol requires chemical protection to deliver results, and Dollar Tree cosmetics lack the delivery infrastructure to preserve efficacy. This represents one category where budget alternatives underperform not because of concentration, but because of chemistry. For those exploring barrier-first skincare approaches, starting with a stable retinol formulation prevents the irritation recovery cycle that compromises barrier integrity. Now for vitamin C serums, where stability is everything. L-ascorbic acid, the gold standard vitamin C form, oxidizes faster than retinol. You'll know it's degraded when the serum shifts from clear to yellow-brown. Dollar Tree occasionally stocks vitamin C serums claiming 10% L-ascorbic acid. The formulation pH hovers around 3.5, verified with pH strips on multiple bottles, which positions it in the effective range for vitamin C penetration. But the packaging ruins everything. Clear bottles, loose caps that don't create airtight seals, and formulations that lack ferulic acid or vitamin E co-antioxidants to stabilize the active.
I've tested these formulations fresh from the shelf. They oxidize within 2 weeks of opening, shifting to that telltale amber color that signals inactive breakdown products. You're left with a low pH irritant that delivers no antioxidant benefit. Sephora's vitamin C landscape offers 2 paths: unstable L-ascorbic acid and protective packaging like SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic at around $166 for 1 ounce, or stable vitamin C derivatives like tetrahexyldecaloscorbate or ascorbyl glucoside at 10 to 20% concentrations. The ordinary ascorbyl glucoside solution, 12%, runs around $12 for 1 ounce. The prestige formulations feature airless pumps, opaque bottles, and antioxidant stabilizer blends that extend shelf life to 6 months post-opening. Chemical reality: Dollar Tree's vitamin C costs $1.25 per ounce, but degrades within weeks. Sephora's ranges from $12 to $166 per ounce, but maintains stability for months. This category represents the widest performance gap in the comparison. Vitamin C requires formulation sophistication that budget manufacturing can't economically deliver at the dollar price point. The active ingredient cost alone for pharmaceutical-grade L-ascorbic acid, ferulic acid, and vitamin E exceeds the retail price of Dollar Tree cosmetics before packaging and labor enter the equation. For those building an eco-effective skincare routine, vitamin C serums represent a category worth investing in mid-range options rather than chasing ultra-budget alternatives that degrade before delivering results. Here's where things get interesting: salicylic acid spot treatments and the unexpected equivalents. This is where Dollar Tree cosmetics genuinely match prestige performance. 2% salicylic acid and an alcohol base. The formulation is nearly universal across price points because salicylic acid works reliably at this concentration and the vehicle doesn't require sophisticated chemistry. Dollar Tree's acne spot treatments deliver this exact formulation in rollerball or squeeze tube packaging. The pH hovers around 3.8 to 4.2, verified, within the effective range for beta-hydroxy acid exfoliation. The texture feels harsh, pure alcohol evaporation on skin, that medicinal astringency that signals you're treating a problem rather than pampering yourself. But acne treatment isn't meant to feel luxurious. It's meant to penetrate pores and dissolve comedogenic buildup. Compare this to Neutrogena Rapid Clear Spot treatment, around $8 for half an ounce at Sephora, or the ordinary salicylic acid 2% solution at around $6 for 1 ounce. The formulation differences are marginal: slightly more elegant emollients in the prestige versions, better packaging aesthetics, stronger quality control across batches, but the core chemistry remains identical. Price comparison: $1.25 for half an ounce at Dollar Tree versus $6 to $16 for half to 1 ounce at Sephora, mid-range.
This represents the category where budget beauty delivers equivalent clinical outcomes at a fraction of the cost. Salicylic acid's stability, well-established effective concentration, and straightforward formulation requirements make it nearly impossible to mess up, even at ultra-budget price points. For those managing scalp acne or seborrheic dermatitis, this same principle applies to scalp pH balance treatments. So, who should choose Dollar Tree? You'll thrive with Dollar Tree cosmetics if you prioritize ingredient performance over application experience. The molecular chemistry works. Niacinamide strengthens barriers, hyaluronic acid hydrates, salicylic acid exfoliates, but the cosmetic elegance lags behind prestige formulations. Choose Dollar Tree when you're building a high-turnover routine where products get used within 3 months. Shelf stability matters less when you're cycling through bottles quickly. The price per ounce advantage becomes undeniable when you're testing new actives or establishing tolerance before investing in prestige versions. You'll need to supplement with better packaging. Transfer serums to opaque dropper bottles, store in cool, dark spaces, except that texture won't rival luxury, but results often will. This approach aligns perfectly with budget barrier repair strategies that emphasize active concentration over brand prestige. And who should choose Sephora? Prestige beauty makes sense when you value stability, cosmetic elegance, and consistent batch quality. The formulations feature sophisticated delivery systems, encapsulated retinol, multi-weight hyaluronic acid, stabilized vitamin C. These justify higher costs through extended efficacy windows and superior user experience. Choose Sephora when you're investing in actives that degrade quickly, vitamin C, retinol, or when sensory experience matters to your compliance. If a serum feels unpleasant, you won't use it consistently, and consistency determines results more than concentration. The silky textures, airless pumps, and clinical packaging remove friction from your routine. You're also paying for supply chain transparency and quality control testing that budget brands can't economically implement. Batch-to-batch consistency matters when you're layering multiple actives or managing sensitive skin conditions. For those exploring bioregenerative actives or complex peptide formulations, prestige brands offer the R&D investment required for cutting-edge chemistry. Let me address some frequently asked questions. Are Dollar Tree cosmetics actually manufactured in the same facilities as prestige brands?
Some Dollar Tree cosmetics originate from FDA-registered facilities in China, South Korea, and the United States that also produce private label formulations for mid-range brands, but they're typically manufactured using different quality control standards, older equipment runs, or simplified formulations that reduce per-unit cost. The facilities may be the same, but the production protocols differ. Think of it like generic medications versus brand-name drugs made in the same pharmaceutical plant but with different stability testing requirements and ingredient grade specifications. Can Dollar Tree retinol actually cause skin damage compared to Sephora versions? Dollar Tree retinol won't cause damage beyond normal retinoid irritation, but the unstable formulations deliver inconsistent active concentrations as the product oxidizes over weeks, which can create unpredictable irritation patterns. One application might deliver 0.2% active retinol, while another, from the same bottle 2 months later, delivers essentially 0% alongside breakdown products that potentially trigger sensitivity. Sephora's encapsulated, stabilized retinols maintain consistent concentrations throughout their shelf life, allowing your skin to acclimate predictably. Do Dollar Tree hyaluronic acid serums actually hydrate as well as expensive alternatives? Dollar Tree hyaluronic serums hydrate the surface layer effectively with their 1,000 kilodalton molecular weight formulations, creating measurable improvements in skin moisture levels within 30 minutes. But they lack the multi-weight molecular blends, 50 to 1,800 kilodaltons, found in prestige formulas that penetrate to different dermal depths simultaneously. So you're getting single-layer hydration that feels immediately plumping but doesn't provide the sustained, deep moisture retention of sophisticated formulations. Similar to the difference between a basic moisturizer and advanced peptide body lotions with layered humectant systems. Here's the bottom line. The formulation gap between Dollar Tree Cosmetics and Sephora narrows dramatically in stable active categories: niacinamide, salicylic acid, basic hyaluronic acid, where straightforward chemistry delivers results regardless of price point. You're not sacrificing efficacy when you choose budget niacinamide serums or acne spot treatments. The molecules work identically. But that gap widens into a chasm for unstable actives like vitamin C and retinol, where packaging technology and delivery systems determine whether the active ingredient survives long enough to reach your skin. Here, prestige investment becomes necessary rather than indulgent.
Build a hybrid routine. Stock your bathroom with dollar store salicylic acid and niacinamide while investing in mid-range retinol and vitamin C. You'll capture 80% of clinical performance at 30% of luxury costs. The chemistry doesn't care about the price tag, but it absolutely demands respect for formulation stability and molecular delivery. For comprehensive guidance on building this strategic approach, explore our complete dollar store makeup guide that maps budget-friendly categories against necessary splurges with the same analytical rigor applied here. That's it for this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Thanks for listening all the way through. We drop new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something coming down the line. If this episode helped you make sense of where your money actually goes in skincare, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a 5-star rating and a quick review. It's one of the biggest things that helps other people find the show when they're searching for no-nonsense beauty info. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe or follow so you get notified the second a new episode goes live. Talk soon.